I'm so excited to get you right before you packing up and moving forever. I'm so, like, sad. But it's okay. It's all right. It had to come at some point.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about a lot of great things, from Wharton to money to Drake and other great things. Speaking of Drake, have you did you see that he's going on tour with Migos?
I'm probably gonna go during one of the New York dates.
Yeah.
I'm excited. The thing is, I want to see Drake by himself because I'm not like that big of a Migos fan, and I just know it's gonna make the tickets so much more expensive because it's all of them. But I'm like,
there's gonna be 4 of them on stage, and I'm just like, but
yeah.
Do they even have that many songs together?
All I know is like Walk It, Like I Talk It. They have Versace.
Oh yeah.
That original. But I don't know of any others, really.
Yeah. It's called Aubrey and the Three Amigos. And I think that's so funny. And now all these people are like, oh, that's where Amigos get their name from? And I'm like, but did we not? I mean, but it's fine. It's cool. I'm probably also going to go. Those tickets are probably going to be really expensive, but they're coming to Philly. So
J. Cole's also on tour, though, so it's just like where...
Oh, yeah.
I don't know.
You seen J. Cole?
I have. I went to the 2014 Forest Hills Drive.
Ooh, that was probably a good tour.
It was amazing.
Did you like this most recent album?
I did. I liked it. It's definitely better than, what was the other one? For Your Eyes Only, or what?
Oh,
I don't know if I would call that.
death.
That one was just like, yeah. There's some songs off of that I like, but I definitely like this better than that.
Yeah.
But it's still like third in my, I would put it like, no, more like fourth. So.
Yeah, I feel you. I like J. Cole too. And if he was on tour and I had the money for it, I would probably go. But like, it's like, it's touring season, and I just, everybody from Beyonce to Drake to everybody else.
Oh, true.
And I'm just like, not.
Yeah.
Like her like jacket from Beachella, like, already sold out. It was $450. I was like, I don't know. So you recently graduated from Wharton. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Can you talk a little bit about your concentration and how you arrived at determining that?
Yeah, so I'm concentrated in finance and then OID, which is operations, information, and decisions. And then specifically I did the information systems track. So pretty much finance was pretty easy in deciding it. I just felt like, one, I needed a major that I didn't have to explain, like I'm about to have to explain OID.
Yeah.
And two, it's just, for Black women and Black people in general, it's assumed that we're non-technical because, racism. And then,
yeah, of course.
So I felt like it was important to have hard skills on paper. So that was that. I like finance, and I definitely preferred, like, the work than, like, studying it. So that's fine. But OID is, like, my favorite thing. It's basically, so it's a pretty big program, and that's why there's different tracks. But my track specifically focuses on using technology to optimize any process, really, but also a big focus on supply chain and efficiency. So I think that's really cool, and I just think that I think it's like one of the best concentrations offered in Wharton, and I think it's getting bigger. Like the professors in the department are all amazing, like geniuses, and it's just I respected them so much, and because of that, I'm actually like I had always wanted to go to business school, but now I'm looking like significantly more at MIT for business school, because that's like where all of my favorite professors from OID went, and I just feel like that strong technical background would be lit. So.
I didn't know you were that techie. Did you want to be in engineering at all?
I always knew I wanted to be in like someone's business school. I didn't look into engineering, and I've taken like, not like a course, but like it was like once a week like programming, and we did like Python and like C+ or whatever. And
yes, languages.
Yeah, so like coding is definitely, I don't think I'm the personality for coding, but I think different parts of engineering I definitely would have been interested in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Both of my parents were in engineering, and looking at them, I'm like, oop, well, I'm like, I'm not sure if I wanted to do that. But then again, I like was really trying to go to MIT for like a split second, and I really liked it. I don't know. I feel like you would like it there too. Well, that's cool. I don't know if so you said that you never, I guess you always wanted to go to business school, like in high school. Were you thinking about Wharton or like any other business school or?
Yeah. So in high school, I was thinking more holistically in terms of schools, and then like all the schools I applied to had specifically a business school. So I was looking at like Georgetown's, McDonough, and then Boston College's something, and then Wharton.
Yeah.
And I just ended up picking Wharton because the curriculum is, like, the most diverse. Like, some of them only had, like, finance and accounting, and yeah. But Wharton has, I think, like, 10 or 9 concentration. So I was like, okay, I can figure out what I want to do if I go to a school that has the most, and it's the best. So I was like,
yeah, it is.
Yeah, that's fine.
That's true. So I bet in your 4 years you had a lot of ups and downs, or maybe you had mostly ups, I don't know. Do you have any advice for people who are either coming into Penn or people who are thinking about Penn? Do you have any advice for succeeding here?
Advice for succeeding, I think, would be, 1, knowing the resources available and asking for help. And I think one big resource I never really tapped into was my professors, and, like, going to office hours, not because, like, you need help with the homework or whatever, but, like, to build those connections with them, because you're going to need recommendation letters, and, like, the professors, especially at Penn, like, they can get you jobs, like, they have all these amazing connections. So I would say that's, like, one thing I wish I had done more, and I would say I recommend to other people as well. I would say, like, as strategically as possible, plan out the classes you take, because, you know, having a high GPA to start off with it's always better than trying to, like, build up a GPA. So I feel like if you don't know what you want to do, like, take, like, the easy general requirements if you can, and then figure it out later, versus, like, diving into something you're iffy on. And, like, for, like, example, like, a lot of kids who, like, were pre-med, like, dove into it, and, like, the shit was obviously hard.
Yeah, now they're like, oof.
Right. And it's like you have to recover, and, like, your GPA has to recover. So I'd say as best as you can, like, plan out what you want to do, and, like, make sure your classes are in the right order.
I feel you. What would you say is your biggest regret at Penn? Doesn't have to be specific, but, like...
I kind of wish I had, like, met more people. I feel like, personality-wise, I'm the type to have, like, a few really close friends, and, like, thus, like, not have the casual friends. So I feel like maybe, like, more diverse spaces. Also, yeah, all my friends are Black, which is cool with me, but it's, like, also kind of, like, because you leave Penn, and then everyone's like, oh my gosh, you went to Penn, do you know this person? And I'm like...
And it's like, no, I've never seen...
Like, was it a Black person?
I've never seen Matthew before.
Exactly. Because, like, otherwise it's likely that I don't. So I would say just, like, I wish I had, like, a wider range of, like, involvements, I guess.
I thought you said a wider range.
No.
I would...
No.
Okay. I would say that's a pretty... Not good regret, because that's, like, an oxymoron, but, like, a good thing to, like, look back at and think that you could have done that better. So, even though, speaking of Black, even though this is a podcast and, like, people can't really see you on here, you're light-skinned, and I'm also light-skinned, and I was wondering if you could talk a little bit, taboo topic, but a little bit about the privilege that you've noticed that comes with that. Does that happen on a day-to-day basis? Is it something that you think about, or is it something that you don't even consider? And it's okay if it's either one. I was just curious.
Yeah. I think I used to not think about it, but this past semester I took Ufoma Abiola's class on colorism, which literally we talk about it every week, and, like, it forces you to think about it more and how, like, it shapes your experiences. So I definitely think about it more so now in, like, this past semester. But as far as, like, how it affects me, I think it's more on a day-to-day basis, in the sense that being light-skinned lets me avoid things that others have to face. So it's, like, a passive day-to-day thing where it's just, like, certain things are just easier for me, or, like, the way I'm received by people is completely different. So there's definitely that. And I remember there was that one time after, like, the whole GroupMe incident.
Right.
And Amy Gutman was in Maku, like, talking to people. And, like, I was just in the room listening. And she's, like, talking, and people are asking questions, and she's going back and forth with people. And then, like, at the end, she was, like... And it had been, like, a rough info question and answer session. And at the end, she, like, stands up, and she was like, okay, like, I'm glad we could have talked. Like, does anyone want a hug? And me, in the corner, who had not spoken, she walked directly up to me.
Yikes.
And literally, I was just like, interesting. Because I feel like in senses like that, it's like, I don't know, I look the nicest to white people, or even to, like, Black people, like, that type of thing. It's like the the little things. So I
Yeah.
definitely think it's, like, day to day.
Yeah, I would say I sort of get that too, especially being at PWIs and like being in certain spaces, like being a psych major. It's sort of, I mean, it's pretty diverse, but it's still majority white, and I assume that that's sort of like how it is in Wharton too, or I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but like maybe in OID as well, like it's majority white people.
Asian, but yes.
And well, yeah, and sometimes I think that, you know, that this conversation sort of gets lost in a lot of spaces also with Black people.
Yeah.
Because it's sort of like, oh, you're light skinned, you're going to assume XYZ. And it's like, no, actually, like,
Yeah.
I understand this, but I still want to, like, contribute to, like, a greater cause. And so, would you, like, is it something that you have noticed prior to Penn, or was it more so like you didn't really have to think about it? Were you like always in whiter spaces?
Yeah, so one thing we talk about in colorism class is that, like, when you're in whiter spaces, you tend to only recognize your Blackness. And then there were kids in the class who went to, like, predominantly Black, like, high schools, and they had much more vivid experiences when they would realize, like, their color more so, that they were either being punished out of a large group when they were, like, darker skinned, or, like, lighter skinned individuals were not as, like, strictly punished for, like, bad behavior or things like that, or, like, even just the expectations that teachers had of them, versus, like, in a PWI setting, I feel like you more so realize racism before you see colorism, but I think they're definitely both there, and it's more of a critical thinking thing and actually reflecting on how you're treated compared to other Black people, even though we're so few in spaces. And then one thing that we also talked about was, like, kind of a paradox of the class, is that definitely we understand that white people are colorists and treat us differently based on it, but we also, as a class, didn't understand in the same breath that, like, white people will confuse any two Black people, no matter how different we look. So that's, like, one of the things that I just still think is interesting, because, like, the amount of people I've been confused with who are, like, a range of, like, appearances, skin tones, and, like, even just, like, height. I'm just, like, you couldn't even figure that out, but at the same time, like, colorism is still active in that, like, sense, so.
Yeah. That's so true. I'm glad you mentioned that, because the amount of times I've been called someone else's name who, one, I first may not even know them, like, may not even, and another thing is, like, I might vaguely look like someone from, like, behind at night, like, not even remotely look, and it's like, oh, well, you just look so much like her. I'm like, but I don't actually, or it's like, oh, is that your dad? No, I actually don't know who that is. Like, actually, I've never seen that man before in my life. Okay, great. I have to take this colorist. Is it only offered once a...
No, I think it's only offered in the spring. And then for anyone, she's teaching 3 courses this summer session, actually. One is colorism in the global sense, so including, like, Asia, Latin America, U.S., and Africa. And then, what's the other one? She kept plugging her classes, so I'm trying to plug them. There's another one. Oh, colorism and bleaching. Which I think,
that's interesting.
Yeah, so those are both during the summer, and then colorism in African American, which is, like, the main course, is taught in the spring.
Okay, I'll have to look into that. I have to log into Penn and Touch at some point. So what are some next steps? What's in store for Kimberly? What do you, because I feel like in about 5 years, like, you know, you'll be doing big things, probably on the Forbes list, probably have, like, a bunch of money and building buildings and architecture and stuff. And so, you know, no pressure, but just, like, what are some of your goals or things that you're working towards?
Yeah. So right now I would say I definitely don't know what my dream job is. I don't think I have that yet. So I'm going to do banking for, like, put in my 2 years, and then try to slide into private equity, and then take a break from that, and then go back to business school.
So you do want to go back to school?
Oh, yeah, I, like, am definitely gonna go back. I already took my GMAT and everything. I just I didn't apply to any of, like, the early programs, because I kind of need to see how that private equity thing figures out before I start working on that. But, yeah, I definitely want to go back to business school, and then after that, I think I would want to, like, get a job more in, like, tech, but, like, not, like, tech.
Like Silicon Valley?
Yeah, not, like, necessarily, though, but, like... As in, I don't want to be in California at all. Yeah. I want to stay in New York.
Oh, unpopular opinion.
Yeah, I know. Everyone, like, runs off to Cali, and I'm like,
no, I like it.
It's not that great. That's all
I like it. No, I appreciate it. Like,
But yeah, I think like running operations at somewhere like Amazon, like
right, okay,
somewhere that's just like doing crazy things would be like amazing. So yeah.
Have you thought about working overseas at all?
I think I want to do that. A lot of advice I've gotten when I talk to people who are like very successful in their careers, they say that this is more like in like staying in corporate sense, but if you work overseas, a company will promote you, send you overseas, and then when you come back, you'll get promoted again. So people have always recommended that as like a fast track one. And then two, it just broadens your experience. Like you can be working in the same business function, but the way it's run in a different country based on culture and just like the way of doing things can teach you different things that you can like bring back. So I'd be open to that. Hopefully, like obviously like London or something, like an English speaking country would be more ideal, but I'm not like opposed to working in like Hong Kong or like somewhere like that. So
yeah, that's what happened to my dad when he was working like out. Once he graduated from business school, he went to go work for GE, and then after that they like paid for him and like our family to travel and like move overseas. And it's sort of like there's like a little pocket of people who are sort of in the same group. Like there are other Americans who are living in China who are like, we all sort of live together, and like they don't really call it immigrants, they call it expatriates, which like, okay, all right, culture difference, but like, yeah, it's like they paid for our house, like for us to go to school, all that sort of stuff. And then once we got back here, then he was promoted again.
Yeah.
And so I guess it's just like if you want to spend 4+ years like jumping around, you know. I don't really want to, but hey, unpopular opinion.
To me, it's also a timing thing. Like right now, sure, like I'm single, like I have no family, I'm down, but it's just like.
You're single, yeah.
But it's just like, yeah, by the time like if I had a family and kids, I would probably be like less willing to do it. Also, like being a woman, it's just like you're supposed to be like the one mainly, whatever.
Supposed to like, you know.
Yeah, so I don't know. I think it's definitely a timing thing. But right now, I'm down to like go overseas.
That's awesome. Well, thanks, Kim. I'm not done with the questions yet. We're about to do a flash round. Are you ready? Have you like listened to the podcast before and have seen this occur? Yeah. Okay. So just to give you a little sense. So this wouldn't be too bad. I just have a couple questions.
I'm scared.
Everyone says that. And it's like we don't ask like, you know, really bad questions. It's just, you know, little things that we're just curious about. So you only have like 2 or 3 seconds to answer.
Okay.
So it's like the first thing that comes to your mind.
Okay.
You ready?
Yeah.
Okay. What's your favorite seasoning?
Garlic.
Okay. What's your worst seasoning? What do you think is the worst seasoning?
I don't know. Oregano, I think.
Okay. One gotta go. Frank Ocean, Rihanna, or SZA?
SZA. I don't like SZA.
Oh, unpopular. I like it. When you're leaving the house, what is one thing you can't forget?
My keys.
Practical. Tequila or rum?
Tequila.
Tequila or vodka?
Vodka.
Tequila or red wine?
Tequila.
Okay. Would you tip a bartender if they gave you something for free?
Yeah, of course.
Instagram or Twitter?
Instagram.
Wait, pause. Why?
Okay, so Twitter, like, yeah, it's, like, funny and, like, you just, like, can read it. But, like, if I had to give up one, I feel like I would give up Twitter because that's just more, like, people's, like, funny stuff versus Instagram. I feel like I'm keeping up with people's lives. I mean, people's fake lives, but, like,
it's like a document.
Nonetheless,
like,
yeah.
I feel you. I understand. Okay, let's resume. Nordstrom or ASOS?
ASOS.
In one sentence, how do you feel about Kanye?
Who?
Okay. Cardi B or Nicki Minaj?
Nicki.
Best breakfast dish?
Bacon.
How do you like your steak?
Medium well.
Favorite movie you went to go see in the last 6 months?
A Quiet Place was really good.
Thoughts on Azalea Banks?
I wish she would, you know, get it together. She's talented for sure, but she should, you know, get that personal life thing worked out.
Yeah. Would you rather have 50 good friends or 3 best friends?
3 best friends.
As you look back on your time at Penn, how would you rate your experience from 1 being terrible to 10 being amazing?
10.
Donald Glover the actor or Childish Gambino the rapper?
Gambino.
Best look from the Met Gala?
I liked Cardi B a lot. Her dress.
Okay. And that's it. That's all of the questions that I have. It wasn't too bad,
that
right?
Wasn't so bad.
Okay.
I didn't know. I was like, anything could pop out. I don't know.
All right. Well, thank you so much for stopping by, and I'm really excited for you to like go off and do your big, great, amazing things. And I hope that you can visit before like you start working 200 hours a week and stuff. And, you know, I'll never see you again. But like, you know, I just really appreciated everything that you've done for everyone here. And you said earlier that like, you know, you wished more people, or you wish that like you met more people, when actually like I feel like a lot of people like you and a lot of people really respect you, including myself, and I'm gonna really miss your presence.
You're gonna make me cry.
I'm sorry, I just wanted to say that before you leave soon. So yeah, thank you.
Thank you.